I know. We're late. Be quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're taking a look at game number 2 of our third and final series of the day. It's Evil Geniuses facing off against Team Liquid. We saw in game number 1, Team Liquid got off to a hot start with an Alchemist, but then EG were able to weather the storm and then pull it back off of a
10
couple
seconds
pretty
remaining.
solid Naga Siren Disruptor combos. Apparently that's a good combo, Draskell.
5 seconds
You know, it
remaining.
ain't bad.
Mm.
It's one of those things that's very easy to ban out, though. You can ban out one piece or the other, either the Naga or the Disruptor ban, and you never have to worry about that particular combo. I mean, I don't want to say it's why they won, but it was definitely a large contributor.
Yeah, definitely. And it was the engine that allowed them to like take a team fight victory when taking a team fight would win them the game. So that part is pretty nifty as well. No surprise really here, I think, that both of them, or rather one of them, gets banned out in the Disruptor. I'm not quite as worried about just like a straight up Naga Siren. Like you're talking about, like banning out one or the other means that like potency is no longer there also. So we'll see what they go for.
Yeah. And since EG don't have first pick this game, they don't want to give Liquid the opportunity to pick it. And since if they did pick it, it would either mean that EG would have to play Naga themselves or ban it in the second phase. They just, don't want to worry about it. Just a lot more hassle-free to ban the Disruptor in the first phase.
10 seconds remaining.
That's it. So what makes it through? That means that Timber is going to make it through, and if they don't ban it here, we saw Ramses play it before. Yeah, the Slark is going to make it through. Okay, no, he's not. He's going to get banned.
Yeah, it's like, no, we don't want to give that one up. That one's a little bit too good. And Liquid did opt to have first pick. It looked like there was some contention going on. The admin asked them to like please make their selection. So either they just hadn't made it yet, or they were still debating whether they wanted first pick or side. But taking first pick this time for Team Liquid, and that meant that EG got Radiant. I just want to check out and see if there was anything else that ends up getting missed and going through the draft.
All right, Liquid, what's your opener here? Oh, Winter Wyvern. Okay, that's different. Haven't seen them do this one yet.
Omni Knight was the other ban that is no longer banned. So we'll see if they want to run like an Omni thing.
And Eva are both in the pool. Yeah. I'm actually surprised EG didn't just snap pick Omni after they saw that Wyvern pick. It's a really good lane. Against Wyvern, you can dispel the Arctic Burn. GA is great against Curse so long as you're not in the Curse.
Yeah, it sounds.
They could. It's weird because EG have a tendency to like swap prioritization of roles, like who gets the better pick, and by better I mean later pick, except for Arteezy. Like Arteezy always gets the latest possible pick, and then most of the time, if they can get their hands on like a puck or something, they'll just first phase Abed's hero. But since they can't really do that this time around, EG are going to also have to change their game plan a little bit as well.
Yeah, and it looks like they were not prepared for that Wyvern pick, as this is taking quite a bit of their reserve time early on. Did anybody DC? There's no way they DC'd, surely.
No, I don't think so. I think they're just they're thinking it out, giving it the old 5-head,
It's good. Bulba's in there with them, so yeah, they make it happen.
They're still going to first phase Abed's hero and the Omni. Okay. I expected Omni. I just wasn't sure what it was going to be paired with. If they still like, there are a lot of mid heroes right now that can just walk to lane against most stuff and feel okay. OD and Puck are probably two of the most common that we see, at least from like the NA region. Those are two heroes that the NA teams like a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, it's solid. Another save. Once you get the Aghanims, you can actually banish people in the curse. Right. On OD, like the middle target, you can actually reach that far and still not get caught. So it's a nice little counter.
One thing that is a little bit concerning here is that this, not concerning, but I think the part that's nice about this for EG is that because the Timber Saw's through, like having OD and Omni Knight, it's kind of a nice answer. Like, yes, Omni's a strength hero, but you can take off the Whirling Death, and on top of that, also OD is a nightmare matchup against him. But Lone Druid, it's finally come out. I've been waiting for them to play this for a while.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do it last game actually, but they opted for the Alk instead. Allegedly, the Alk was a pretty good pick. Didn't quite work out, but yeah, Lone Druid is a I mean, Mickey and Quick will both play it, so there is some
10
some
seconds
flexibility
remaining.
there.
This is the first lone druid for them this tournament too. They haven't been playing it so far.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. To me, because they first phase it, I think it's probably going to be mid. Like that's my guess. They just put it against the OD. It is some hero that enables you to group up around him, which I think was kind of the problem that Liquid had last game. Like
Geniuses
normally you
turn
group
to
up around the
ban.
Alchemist, but the Alchemist was never really that beefy frontline hero. He was kind of just a glass cannon that couldn't tank a Naga illusion, so it was really hard for them to group up around him specifically. And then, Mickey didn't have that great of a game because he kept getting the
Liquid's
Song and the
turn
Static
to
Storm combo
ban.
every time he was in the side lane.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it was a little bit rough. But Lone Druid is definitely one of those heroes that he gets his items and then you play around him, you take some buildings, pressure objectives and whatnot. It feels like Liquid have had a really hard time doing that just today, not even just the series.
Yeah, that it's maybe that engine that they need to really keep the momentum going because you know that if you're playing
10
with this hero,
seconds
like yes, you
remaining.
can play later stages in the game, obviously, but really you want to be
5
on that
seconds
front foot,
remaining.
keeping the pressure on the towers. So with the OD taken, um, the other couple of games that they've had OD, they've tended to have like an IO or something like that. But the other one is like I don't know. They played it with the Ricky before too, or a CM. Is there anything that you really need with this lineup? Like it feels like this is such a sort of straightforward opening from Evil Geniuses, where you play around the OD, dealing a ton of damage. What do you think this lineup needs?
There's still nothing that
Evil
really punishes the
geniuses
Wyvern
turn to
pick
ban.
from EG. So that's always going to be something I'm looking at. Like, is there any way that you can force this guy to cast spells like that? That's always a thing against Wyverns. Like sometimes you see the Storm Spirit. Obviously, we saw the OD, so Abed's heroes kind of. I mean, there is always a small chance it gets changed, but you want a hero that either has an enormous amount of reach or other ways to force this guy to cast his
10
spells
seconds
in a
remaining.
suboptimal way. Because the worst thing that can happen against a wyvern is you get in,
5
like baited
seconds.
into this
Evil
chase
geniuses
and
Hmm.
turn
you
to
reach a
pick.
choke point and then the curse comes out and it can get really ugly for you real fast. So there's two ways to deal with it. One, you just play equally spread out,
Right.
where you don't pick any hero that wants to hard commit, or you pick heroes that are very good at reaching the back line. Like Weaver, for example, is something that comes to mind. Like having the Heavenly Grace with the Omni Knight and being able to just go on the Weaver. That way, if you do get cursed,
Turn to
you're the
pick.
only one.
Crystal Maiden.
And like you were talking about the CM, they are going to pick it up here. Nice synergy with the Omni, going to give them that mana regen, and Liquid immediately respond with the Treant. Looks like they were kind of expecting this as well.
Yeah.
Treant, amazing in lane against a very slow hero.
I guess the other thing there too is that it's like trying to get a little bit of a filler pick with the CM to see if they revealed anything else in the Liquid draft. But it does kind of feel like you already know what's coming with Liquid, what they want to try and accomplish.
10 seconds remaining.
So yeah, getting that CM and then the tree. This is something that we talked
5
about earlier
seconds
today. Alliance
remaining.
ran it 2 times in their previous matches going into this, and now Team Liquid running it themselves. So a little bit of a European flavor coming in
God, you
here.
know what I would love actually from EG? I don't think there's any way they do it, but I'm just looking at this lineup and going safe lane bounty hunter. Let's
Oh, all
just
right.
go. Let's just go. It's actually a crazy good bounty hunter game.
What makes it a
It's
bounty
really
hunter
good.
game?
So it's good against Treant because he wants to play, in fog. You show once, you get tracked. It kind of like deletes your presence on the map. It forces the Wyvern to feel uncomfortable because you always have to have sentries down, stuff like that. They're going to go for the SP, so that's that type of hero that I was talking about that forces the Wyvern to cast spells. You just charge right into them. You hit your W key, and whatever they do to you, you're going to shrug it off, more or
Mm.
less. So it's a nice solution. It's also a crit classic. He's played this hero since way back in the day. But yeah, the Spirit Breaker is a good solution. I like this because it's a hero that doesn't have to be a core. That's gonna make the Wyvern. You just want to make him uneasy. You don't want him to be able to sit there in the back and read a book, do whatever he wants to do, and then oh yeah, here's a good time to curse. Boom. If that happens, then something went
10
wrong.
seconds
Right?
remaining.
You have to pressure him in some way, and that's the SP.
5
Well, I will say
seconds
that
remaining.
having this type of a lineup here from EG, there's like pseudo team fight in a way, but I'm a little bit concerned that like Liquid just have the better team fight in general. And if obviously you're gonna have really strong push coming out because you just have a lone druid, um, I don't know. I guess EG just need to play like super duper fast, try and run around the map, make kills happen around this
Team
Spear
Liquid's
Breaker,
turn
That's I guess got to be the way they do it. Are you concerned at all about like the kind of lack of team fight that EG has?
Well, like you mentioned, it's the consistency in which EG can force engagements. If they can like keep applying pressure and keep playing fast, I think that Liquid are actually going to have quite a hard time keeping up because they don't have a lot of damage. If you look at their lineup,
10
like
seconds
Wyvern only really
remaining.
does damage if you get a nice curse. Lone Druid's item dependent.
5
Leshrac
seconds
does
remaining.
damage. Like of all the heroes, he does the most.
Right.
But he is still very susceptible to getting blown up because there is an OD in the game. You know, Omni Knight can kind of heal and cast his Heavenly Grace on someone, and it's going to be really hard for that hero to be taken down. So, I mean, their ultimate abilities are strong. It's just a matter of do they have the follow up to actually get kills. And we'll have to see what their last pick is because right now I think we talked about we think it's probably just the mid lone druid, and I suppose Mickey's hero is going to be last. If there wasn't OD in the game, I would say this would be a really nice morph game, but OD makes it quite annoying, and also the SB is a natural vessel buyer.
You don't
So
think
what
that
else?
they could do safe lane, or is safe lane Lesh not that great?
He kind of is just level hungry.
Right.
That's the main reason why you don't typically see him in the side lane. It's not completely out of the question,
Right.
but I think it's more likely that this is just a boxy Leshrac.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, anything is possible. I never in this patch. I don't count anything out.
That's fair. Definitely.
Ooh, a starter. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, that solves their damage issues. That also gives them a Roche hero. So the corrosive haze is one of those things that no matter what kind of lineup you have, you're gonna be able to do damage, right? And that's kind of the big worry that I personally had was, hey, your heroes kind of, your lone druid needs to come online, and your Leshrac needs to be beefy for your damage to really fully be there. So now the corrosive haze allows for them, like if you get entangled with that on you, you're a goner. Like
Right.
you're not living through that no matter what. So that solidifies their DPS. It solidifies their Roche capabilities. It gives them a high ground potential because of the Roche. So it solves a lot of the issues they had. It's also an initiator. Up
Mhm.
until this point, they didn't have a natural blink carrier that was going to be the first line in. So yeah, I like it. I like it.
All right. Well, we'll see. Definitely that big tanky frontliner. In all my pubs when I play, I feel like I end up seeing Slardar go Aghanims. Do you think that that's a pretty solid item on him, or is it just kind of like a memey thing that you see in garbage tier Dota?
I don't think that Ags is necessarily bad, but I
Okay.
don't know if it's going to be a priority item for him this game because he is the guy that has to go in.
Yeah.
So Aghanims is nice when you can just kind of put your puddle down at a tower and hit the tower, and it's a-okay. Speaking of morph,
Ooh.
it is a nice morph game from the side of EG as well. But yeah, okay, so it is going to be the safe lane Lesh. All right, yeah, because I guess Boxy would have played the Lesh if they didn't pick Slardar, but they picked the Slardar afterwards, so now it's just going to be him.
Okay.
And that means, let's see, Omni SB against Lesh Wyvern. I don't know. I mean, it's not a high kill potential lane from Liquid, but he should still be able to farm on the Lesh.
It is like really tanky Bash Bros down there in the I guess in the top lane, up there in the top lane for EG with Spiritbreaker and Omni. It's like maximum status resistance. Which is
Yeah, like
kinda
I said,
cool.
that's why Liquid are going to have a hard time killing. Fortunately, you can only dispel one Arctic burn
Right.
if you get the skill at level 1, which I don't know. I think it might be more valuable to just skill W level 1 on Omni in this lane just because of Arctic burn.
Hmm.
But if it's a war of attrition, I think that Liquid are going to be fine with it because they're never really going to be able to commit to a kill unless they get a +1. And Morphling and OD are both very farm-oriented heroes. So this honestly, to me, on EG looks more of like an old Liquid draft that we saw earlier today, where they have these 2 cores that are just going to kind of be semi-AFK until they have an item or 2, and then 3 heroes that are going to have to do most of the stuff on the map.
Now, one thing that I'll just mention to you briefly and then stop talking about it for the rest of the game because it's not going to matter, is that there was that period of time that I think we all remember well when it was Morphling being played with Earthshaker over and over and over again. You get the Aghanim Scepter. But one thing that a lot of people didn't watch, but that happened during that period was 23 Savage was playing, and he would constantly do it with Spirit Breaker too. And then what you would have is you would have him turn into Spirit Breaker, and then they'd both charge off across the freaking field and just like blow up one person. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I just thought I'd throw it out there as well. That's a kind of cool combination because then you get to play Morphling with like bulldoze status resistance on you also, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, it sounds great on paper.
Exactly.
Anyone having bulldoze as a buff is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you 32% movement speed and 70 status res for 8 seconds. Yes, please. I'll take one of those.
Yeah,
30
it's sick.
seconds
I love
to
it.
battle.
Anyways, we're checking out here across the Bounty Rune Way, and Mickey and Taiga hanging out, ready to try and sneak this rune. Do you think that it should just be an easy trade-off? Maybe Crit could get caught out here. We'll see if Boxy moves over to try and secure the other one. Well, looks like they might be a little bit late. Ramses in the trees. Gonna get stunned, taking a lot of damage. The punches come through. Purification. Not sure if it's gonna be enough as he goes down. Okay, drawing first blood.
Yeah, I thought they might put the Wyvern with the Lich, but I guess they wanted to put it with the Slardar instead. Crit's already TPing. They want a different laning phase set up. So it's going to be the SB and the Omni against the Treant and the Leshrac, which, you know, a much more powerful kill lane, I would say, from the side of Liquid.
Yeah.
And kill threat is really important against these types of lanes too, I feel, because otherwise if you just let them exist, then SB is going to get like his level 2 or 3, he's going to charge mid, be a nuisance, and then, you know, they don't really care if they can just sit there, you know, but if they're constantly under threat of dying, completely different lane complexion then.
Good migrating of their couriers back here. Now that they see that Spearbreaker is just grabbing the wave and heading back behind the tower, they're going to send their couriers out. Up here top, managing to get the stun off also as they trade off in the laning stage. OD versus the Lone Druid. I never know how to feel about Lone Druid mid. Have you run against this hero a lot? What's your read on him mid?
He just lanes pretty good against everything. There's only, let's see, I guess Razor can be annoying for him because you kind of have to run your hero, your bear away. But for the most part, he just gets what he gets. The levels are actually quite nice though now because the bear actually scales with every level.
Uh-oh. Up top again. Ramses. Charge through. Another punch, not going to get it. So the level scaling.
Yeah, the level scaling is great because before, you know, your entangle was pretty much the same. Like you wouldn't get it until 5. But now the entangle scales by 0.75 seconds per level of the bear skill. So each point is like super value. You're getting damage on the bear, you're getting, you know, more damage on your hero, and the entangle is getting buffed every single time that you get the EXP.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. Such an interesting hero. Abed here is going to be able to pick up the rune. The fear. Oh, that was pretty nifty. Abed feeling a certain kind of way about that one. Just to throw out
Yeah,
the...
that's actually such a weird mechanic. Like, even if the bear is silenced, because of the way the new Savage Roar functions, it still casts off the bear anyway, even if it's imprisoned, even if it's silenced or stunned or whatever.
That's crazy. Ramses here, gonna go around the back and see if he can find himself another creep wave. As they bring in the Spearbreaker, Boxy chasing. Arteezy dropping very low, but pops the stick charge, and that's gonna be the end of that one for potential kills, but turns around, gets the bash, and that's gonna keep Boxy alive. All right.
Yeah, he actually didn't hit with the waveform there. I think he clicked it too far to the right. I'm not sure if it would have mattered, but does allow Boxy to get his salve off. He's going to be fine. And man, mid lane, Quick is doing work. It's quite a bit ahead right now, the OD. Kind of to be expected, though.
Yeah.
Really hard for OD to deal with the bear in the early stages.
Yeah, definitely. I think that... Oh, there's going to be the cliff, and again, Abed a little bit upset about that. As another stun goes out onto the side, getting some good damage onto Arteezy, who drops somewhat low, but still holds onto those stick charges. Runs in, needs to be careful. Taiga's here as well. That rotation, it's not going to bear fruit, though. As Crit was able to play Interrupt, having that level 2, and now we're basically just got a full-on tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Yeah, I think in this case it's fine to leave Omni against the Lesh if you're either team. Like Ramses and Mickey are just going to farm against each other.
Right.
And then bottom lane is where I think Liquid actually have a lot of kill potential because of the Slardar and the Wyvern. And obviously Tree. If he gets a good Nature's Grasp off, you know, cuts off the retreat, it's very, very easy for like the CM to die, for example, because you're so slow.
Right.
And even Crit, you know, can get punished just because he doesn't have that bulldoze yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if he gets hit by that little root thing, it can be very, very spooky.
Regen rune, but an entanglement. Abed in a little bit of trouble, getting body blocked by the bear. Thinking about chasing that one a bit further, but does not get a root, so will not get a kill. A root, no kill. Still fishing, still looking. Banishment. And, well, the resummon while still banished, because that's a thing. He doesn't have Savage Roar, though. And, well, Crit can't really get anything else done.
Yeah. I mean, OD is not really a kill hero until, like, you know, level 6. Then you can drop at least the sanities.
Mm-hmm.
And like 2 points into the Essence Flux means that the slow is not that powerful. It's quite difficult to dive a hero like that. Bounty Rune spawn. 3 for Liquid.
Oh, looks like a 4th.
4 for Liquid? Okay.
EG? Excuse me?
I mean, to be fair, Fly was in position for that one. It's just that Boxy got to run to the shrine for free, or the outpost, excuse me.
Got it.
And then he just timed his stun a little bit better. Because unfortunately, Frostbite is not a stun, it's just a root. So you can still cast Slithering Crush, and he was right next to the rune anyway, so that's why he was able to pick it up.
Like I've seen this before, Ramses just dragging the creep wave around as Tagia tries to chase him. Level 4 on that Omni, and still maintains the aggro from all those creeps. Mid lane, another jump on in. Koikva hanging on to that Savage Roar, though, so there won't be any real chance at a kill. Just trying to mess with them further and further. And as far as the farm goes, Arteezy's really been the main one hurting. He's been taking a lot of harassment here so far. Only 18 CS. Comparison to the 38 of the Lesh. And up top lane, they just dive in on him and Mickey gets the kill.
I mean, it does look like he may die for this one.
Chasing. Stun. No, he walks away.
God.
What? Oh, Mickey. Cool as a cucumber.
And mid as well.
Yeah, chase for Abed. Tagia looking for it.
Oh, called it.
Oh.
Wait, I can this time.
Well done. Abed takes him down, and now this is with the catapult, so they will use the glyph to try and keep it alive. Quickfoot could let the bear tank a little bit more if he wants, which will force, actually, it doesn't let it tank enough, so the catapult ends up going down.
I mean, so far, everything coming up Liquid, right? The
Yeah.
Lundred's having a good time. The Lesh is having a good time. Morph and OD are both kind of suffering. There's not really a whole lot of places on the map that this CM and Spearbreaker combo can really make stuff happen yet. They're suffering from the symptoms of Liquid's earlier drafts today, where their heroes that are the 1 and 2 positions are not ready to contribute, and then their offlaner is I don't want to say a do-nothing hero, but he's an enabler, and he has no one to enable.
Yeah, they need to really come online before that's going to be capable of happening. Boxy gets the stun off before the charge connects. A little bit of nice movement there makes it happen. Bulldoze comes out level 1 right now. That's just to ensure that Crit is able to back away. Up top, more action coming through. Ramses looking for the stun. Pump fakes coming from Mickey. Does not manage to land it. And with that, they're going to be able to back out. A charge. Think they know he's coming?
Possibly. They may have an inkling of what's going on. He's going to cancel, though.
And now they find the stun onto Ramses, who stepped a bit too far forward, and this time he's not going to be so lucky. So a 3,000 gold lead as Mickey starts the game 3-0-0.
Yeah, this is looking real good for Liquid at the moment. They need to start turning this into some towers soon, though. Like, the kills are great, and the early net worth lead is fine, but they need objectives. You need to restrict the space in which this OD and Morphling can really farm. Because the laning phase is... Like, the Morphling's already kind of pulled back in terms of CS. He's at 33 and 14. Like, Boxy is actually behind now. In terms of overall CS, is top. They're doing a little bit of chase in here.
Now looking for a bash, seeing if they can find it. Ramses chasing forward, but they have the cold embrace. Do they have the damage to bring it down? The Disco Pony not looking like it. Tagia's got his eyes on Ramses. He throws out another purification, looking for that stun. Not enough damage to bring down Mickey, and he is involved in yet another kill. And in the meantime, Koikfa gets the mid-tier 1 tower. Liquid are destroying this game.
Yeah, it was good stuff. The bear kills the tower. He's got the Mask of Madness, the Blightstone crit. Gonna go in with the bulldoze. Not really gonna be able to make too much happen here, but yeah, this is good if they can keep the momentum going. Like I said, killing the tier 1's very important. Taking the safe lane tower. You know, I'd like to see Quakefun make some sort of transition towards bot or Mickey, whoever. Just one of the heroes that are good at like getting kills or pressuring the tower. Yeah, Quake would just give it TP.
Arteezy is playing this really well. Oh god, please don't cast a curse again. And
He's doing it. He's cursing him.
Fly is going to go down on the other side. The long duration stun there with the adaptive strike. They're bringing in the bear now. Crit. Going to try and walk away, but the fear is there. The punches come through, and they take down the Spirit Breaker. Now looking for the other tier 1 tower.
I'm curious if Arteezy is the type of morph who goes back like the Lifesteal Mask. Just so you can sit on like that super low amount of HP and just like neutral forever. It's just such a nice feeling thing. I don't know if he's going to do that or if he's just going to try to go straight for E-Blade because he kind of needs it this game. But if he doesn't have a lane to farm, then, you know, it has to be jungle that he occupies.
Right. They found Mickey again. Very low on mana. Have the sanities if they want to use it. Chasing, looking for the follow-up. Get the banishment. He's getting some regen through that wall. That's happening, but it's going to be enough to break him. So they find the kill onto the Lesh, and with 5 heroes up top, they're chasing forward. But Taiga gonna be able to get the pushback onto Insania as well. Arteezy shows up for this one, and that is gonna bear fruit as they manage to find another kill. So a flurry of action, and EG show up.
Yeah, it's the Spearbreaker hitting 6, allowing for that kill. Nice usage of another strike there, realizing the tree was dead anyway. Just pops it on Insania instead, who also just hit 6 and was potentially looking for a curse. But just got spotted out, I guess.
Oh, okay. Oh god, it was so close. He almost got up the waveform away. Oh, Boxy, that was really brilliant, but it didn't quite work out in time. Oh my god, Arteezy was walking right back in, but switched over. Spidey senses tingling, and now just daring Boxy to come at him. Holy Toledo.
Sometimes you gotta live life on the edge, you know? To know that you're alive, it's important.
Absolutely. It does look like he is going to be going back for that mask. I know what you mean. I usually die when I build it and just like farm on nothing, but it is quite a nice feeling.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he doesn't have anywhere to go. That's the main issue he's having right now. The Slardar can just run at him. He throws out Corrosive Haze, and it's such an inconvenience for the enemy team to always know how you're moving around the map and where you are. Mm-hmm. They're gonna find Mickey in bot lane though, which is nice. That's actually a really bad death. Like,
yeah.
That tower was already dead, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
No, that definitely was. Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because I'm like, if that tower is already dead, then that death is very, very questionable.
I wonder, maybe he's just like trying to make space for them to take Roche or something.
EG could not have taken the fight. There's no way. Like, if the Lesh is over here with his team, how are they going to walk in without Curse? Or sorry, without Sandies?
Yeah.
They don't even have GA. Like, there's no way they would have contested this.
No. Ramsey's trying to build up more and more points into that W. And Boxy now finding Fly off to the side. Also seeing Arteezy. Gets the big creep. Gets bashed. Gets stunned. Is going to get feared too. No!
Oh, God.
He had a couple seconds to hit that button, but, you know, it didn't happen. Uh-oh. All right, so 6,000 gold lead, and suddenly we got Liquid chasing for more. This is looking really, really rough. Up until a couple seconds ago, it was looking bad, but now it's looking real bad.
Yeah, the Aegis, it might not get the full racks, but I think that Liquid should be able to get a tier 3 here.
Dude, it just hits so hard. 13 minutes in, and this is why Liquid Lone Druid is something to be feared, as they eat up Fly. Arteezy is back to try and hold on to this one, but me, oh my, oh man, this is rough.
Yeah, the EG's team is just too slow, which is weird because they first phased the Lone Druid. Like, they just haven't had the time they needed to even get like a single item out in a core. Alright, Liquid are just gonna chill. Back up a bit, heal the bear.
Yeah,
it's just surprising that they got taken like almost by surprise by how fast that Liquid are playing this game when they have that lone druid. Like they lost their mid tower before 10 minutes, then they lost bot tower, top tower. It's like almost they were not prepared for the first phase hero.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to understand exactly how that happens. Quakefoot continuing to walk up into all their faces. He gets caught again. Oh no, the jump forward, and now he's forced to buy back. They're gonna run in with Abed, try and drop the big ol' ulti on him. They do a good chunk of damage with the spin through, but Abed's still living through this one. Are they gonna be able to find anything else? Mickey getting healed back up, but they have a lot of damage to throw out onto him afterwards. Boxy now looking for the turnaround. Aegis, round 1. But Boxy's going in for round 2. Does not have his Blink Dagger as of yet. Trying to bring him down. A good Astral coming out from Abed to keep his team from getting brought down too low. Mickey's doing so much damage. Abed is going to go down. Crit in the meantime with that Yule Scepter. Can't quite manage to get away. And EG are not going to be able to find anything else here. In fact, if they're not careful, they might lose Fly. Trying to go for the Frostbite, the walk away. Arteezy's seeing if he can save his captain, but it is not going to happen.
We'll call that ambitious. The slowest hero on your team inching towards the entirety of the enemy team and throwing out the level 2 Crystal Nova. It's a classic.
Unreal. Well, and now that's going to be 4 bounty runes secured for Liquid. And EG just trying to come up with answers to this like early push-oriented lineup, and there really is not much. If they can find Taiga here, it would be kind of nice, but I don't know. Not looking great.
Yeah, the tier 3 is really all Liquid like really wanted there. If they wanted to go for like a round 2 or whatever, if they still had the Aegis, that would be icing on the cake. But just getting the tower means that it opens up the ability to siege a shrine. And then, you're just taking away map control from EG, because they don't really have a lot of room to make plays already. They kind of put themselves into a drafting corner with their heroes from the mid and the safe lane both being relatively slow. And this pace that the Liquid lineup can play, the starter pick actually is owning so hard.
Yeah.
Like, the Morphling has exploded, 2 or 3 different times. It let them get that super early Roche after Nikkei got picked in the bot lane.
Oh? Taiga is just going to get coldly embraced as Ramses runs in. They want to try and take down Insania. Does still have Winter's Curse, but not going to be able to do anything with it. So they find Taiga, going to be able to take him down as well. EG able to get themselves a little something, but it is still Liquid definitely in control in this game. I think that, to me, the thing that stands out about this for Liquid is that, like, everybody looks very comfortable on what they're playing. Like, putting Quake on a hero he just, like, gets and owns with, and now maybe Abed in some trouble? I'm not going to jump. But, like, Boxy, too. I often feel like Boxy either plays, like, weird heroes normally, or he plays normal heroes weirdly. And I like this version better.
I don't know if Starter is a weird hero. I don't know if he's super common.
Yeah.
It's one of those heroes that really wants to do stuff, though. And I like that. I like the adaptation of Alliance picking an offlaner that is more than okay with just running around and doing stuff. Speaking of, it's a very dead crit in the mid lane. He does have buyback.
Almost definitely. It's quite easy to burn through him if they just get any type of a jump. That Corrosive Haze doing so much, and this is before Boxy hits 12 too. Jump forward though, the stun comes out there onto Ramses, forced to GA. The fear was there, but not quite in time to get them for the kill. Mickey just gonna TP away actually, which kind of leaves the rest of his team behind enemy lines. They do have still a lot of sustain on this lineup and bots on Leshrac, so he'll be able to come back out in a second.
Bear on bear action in the mid lane. Oh, he turned back into the Morphling, never mind.
Uh-oh. Stun.
Oh god, not again.
Ooh. The double save. They needed it. First lane of Rax is going to go down here as Liquid, taking no prisoners, fear out that Omni Knight. Still chasing. Crit trying to run through all of them. A pretty good charge. Do they have any more follow-up, though? There's going to be the ulti right onto OD. Stun comes out afterwards. Do they have anything to get him away from it? So much damage now. The ulti coming from Fly as well. Boxy's taking a good bit of damage. but it's not looking like it's quite going to be enough. He's got the tree armor on him, the blink away, stun lands to right interrupt it. And now Crit, seeing if he can chase down Insania. It's a possibility, but Tree there with the armor yet again. They lose the Spirit Breaker. The fear hits there, on to 3. Abed not able to do the damage that he needs to with that ulti. They are going to be able to jump in. EG gonna lose Arteezy. They're gonna lose Ramses. They end up finding 1 kill there at least onto the Winter Wyvern, but it comes at a hell of a cost as Liquid are taking no prisoners.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's more or less just in the books. They got no buybacks on 3 heroes. This is going to be a second set of racks. Even with the tier 2 still being top, it's a little bit too late, I feel. Like, we just saw Sanity's Eclipse level 2 being cast, and it didn't even like really hurt the members of Team Liquid, and that's always a really bad sign because it's one of the highest scaling damage spells in the entire game.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it just speaks volumes about how the pace of the game has been played, you know, how well Liquid have adapted throughout the games today, and just the way that they're playing now versus what they did earlier, where it was kind of just this running around, kind of similar to what EG stuck doing this game because they didn't really have the playmakers that they needed to play from behind. It feels like in this meta, if you get even a little bit behind and you don't have a method of taking fights, you just lose. Like, you're never gonna be able to outmaneuver a team on the map if you don't have control of at least one outpost. And Liquid have controlled both of them for a good while now.
Yeah. No, it's definitely just feeling like, you know, that pace, they're not able to play it like you said, and more so than that, also it was like all of the lanes just being won so hard. I don't know. Tough stuff indeed. Jump forward, stun. Ramses gets the walk away. He'll be okay. Do you wait for the next Rosh? I guess it's only a minute and a half. Seems like it's not too long of a wait, and I don't know, I'm not worried about them catching up.
I mean, you can like bait EG into the fight because I feel as Liquid you're just that much stronger. Like, you have a 16k net worth lead. That's like 2 items on each of your 1 and 2 positions. That is an enormous lead. Like Basher, Deso, Mask of Madness on the Bear. Like, Mickey's got BKB Botsules. They're just gonna run right into him here.
Deuces.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
They even have the couriers scouting out Roche, so they're gonna know exactly what's going down. They can just take this tier 2 prior to the Roche even spawning, so that way, when Roche is up, when they inevitably get the Aegis, they will be able to just go for full Megas.
Yeah, you know what the answer is, though? Arteezy's going for this Aghanims, and not only are they going to have the Spirit Breaker answer, but they already have the Ags on OD, so they're going to have 4 Astrals, if they can get there. Astral
Do you think
number
if
1.
They Astral his entire team, they might live?
No.
Oh, well then, shit.
Oh, see a multi coming out. It's not going to be enough to stop him. Spirit Breaker trying to charge through. Abed wants to build it up, but the BKB is out and revealed from Mickey. They are going to take down the OD, try and throw out whatever stuns they can, but Arteezy is going to be caught, and GG well played is called as they got owned. So the streak continues in Group D of game number 1 team owning, game number 2, the next team does it, and I don't know, what's the streak say about game number 3? What happens in that one?
I'm not sure. I mean, hopefully okay, so there's clearly an issue with the way that EG drafted this game in that they didn't pick another hero that was fast enough to keep up with what Liquid were doing.
Right.
And when I saw the Slardar, the first thing that popped into my mind was this hero just enables you to kill Roche really, really early in the game because Corrosive Haze is just a very strong minus armor component and you already have a Lone Druid. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to play this, you know, pretty balls to the wall. They're going to go for lane wins. They're going to go for towers really early. And then they're going to try to just get an Aegis and end. And it felt like with the Morphling pick that EG either thought that they could just hold or they could, you know, play the map well enough to try to delay it. And man, they were just wrong. Like, they just got slogged everywhere. So I'm hoping that maybe for the next game, if you see that Lone Druid in the opening, maybe you respect it a little bit more because it felt like it didn't really hit that way for me with how EG picked their heroes, but we'll see. Adaptation is the name of the game here for game 3, though. We'll see what EG decide to do.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we will have to wait as there is going to be a short break. Stick around, though, because game number 3 is right around the corner. The conclusion to Group D here at the Dream League Season 13 Major. We'll be right back in just a bit.